Well, hello there, everyone. It is now day 17 of our Create New Income Challenge. We are almost to the end. Welcome if you're watching on YouTube and on Facebook and or on Facebook. My name is Alan C. Paul. I'm the host, creator of God and Gigs, and we have been for the last 17 days working with some challengers on creating new income, getting them from idea to the marketplace, from idea to income in 21 days. And we are at the final leg of the journey. So, challengers, if you're watching this anytime during the day, we know we're starting this 8 early in the morning Eastern time. So, some of you guys are still getting kids out the door, or you're just now waking up. And so, I get it. If you're not watching live, that's cool. But some of you might be jumping in live. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of our challenge. And this is really cool that we can finish it off with some really, really, really powerful concepts that will get you right into the game of making money. This is the part where it gets to be, well, no more excuses. We the but there were never any excuses. But now it's really serious because we're gonna get you making the pages and creating the things that will actually put money in your pocket. And so that's gonna be really, really, really cool today. Let me fix my camera really quick and make sure I'm good. And if you are coming in and watching live, let me know how the challenge has been going for you. I feel like I'm just like a little low. That's probably what it is. Like I look like I'm looking. I want to look down at anybody. We're not looking down at anybody, okay? My eyes are a little red, and just it's one of those things when you wake up early in the morning. It's like, man, like I really feel shy. I put myself back together. I feel like this part of this is not looking right. It's like, am I put together? I don't even know. But hey, you know what? You guys will forgive me for not looking my best. We said start ugly. This is part of starting ugly in the challenge. So if you're watching this and you have not been part of the challenge, let me just explain quickly, just to give you like the overview, and to give our challengers the overview of what we've been doing. Okay, so number one, we have started from day one, first week, coming up with an idea. So we came up with an idea with an opportunity of something that we wanted to make and create. But the key of that was we wanted to make a minimum viable product, something that really didn't take a lot of work to create, and something that we could put into the world or into the marketplace or sell with minimum investment and effort on our part. So the real key of this entire exercise was this should not be something that's going to take you months and weeks to design and figure out. Now, if if you make clothing or physical products and things like that, you might say, well, everything I make takes a while, and that's cool, but that might not work as a minimum viable product, at least if you're not going to pre-sell it, or at least just do a concept or a beginning stages kind of product, and then use that as your minimum viable product. So we did say it's okay if you have a physical product to promise people to pay, because almost everything we buy before it's ready anyway. Even in a fast food restaurant, you don't see the food first. You pay first, and then you come around, and then the food's ready. So it's okay to not have the product ready, which sounds crazy, but as I just explained, it's the norm. People usually pay first before they actually get the thing. So it's okay if you have a pre-sale and that's your minimum viable product. But the key is you got to have an explanation of it. It's got to be something where people can understand what it is. So that's what we did in week one. And then we went out and we validated it. In week two, we found 10 to 20 people that could answer the question. Hey, is this something you need? Is this something you want to buy? Will this either make your day or solve a problem? And then we went ahead and made a valuation of it, figured out what the value is. And that was the price that we set. And we said, okay, it's going to be this much. And we're not going to spend a lot of time thinking about it. As long as it's around the competitive price of other people, we're not going to spend a long time trying to discount it or make it the most expensive one so that everybody loves it or thinks that it's amazing because it's expensive. All these things we just had to like get out of our head and just say, okay, let's just get the product out there. So now we're at week 3, and we have now, if you have never had a website or a online store, we're going to help you make one in less than 30 minutes. We're going to get you from product, well, really from idea to a product page that actually could sell something and you can get money from it. Now, I got to be careful about this because you might say, well, okay, well, that's literally impossible. You can't do this right now in video. So I'm not going to show you like all the steps to building this page. I'm going to do about 80% of it. And I'm going to show you how you can go from just an idea and putting something up and then eventually, really not eventually, within 24 hours, being able to collect money from it. So I'm going to do that using a couple of tools. Well, I'm going to show you one of the tools because I can't show you both. We don't have time to do both tools. But the two tools that I've recommended in the challenge are ConvertKit and Gumroad. Now, both of those websites allow you to immediately build a product sales page, and they have payment processes in place where all you got to do is put your bank account information in and you can get paid. Now, you may also have, things like Cash App and PayPal, and those are also great, but these are systems that allow you to make the page where you sell your stuff, and that's called a product page or a sales page. Okay. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and share screen in a second. Let me go ahead and open this back up, and let's get to a screen where I can show you what we'll be building here. I'm gonna look up, sorry, if I'll be looking around. As I look at my other monitor and we open up this site. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with ConvertKit, as I mentioned. Now, ConvertKit, we are an affiliate. I am an affiliate. I always like to be honest about that, okay? I don't want to bait and switch you. We do get a commission if you buy a product or start to join um, ConvertKit as a member. Highly recommend it no matter what, because it's literally the system that's allowed me to build everything that I've done in my email service. It's an email service provider as well as a builder of landing pages. It does everything. So I'm going to use that one. Now, Gumroad is another great solution, which if you check into Gumroad, you can see it at gumroad.com. It's an amazing platform. I just don't have time to show you both of these, but if you're part of the challenge, you have all of the information. Now, I want to say this quickly because I know some people might be watching that are not part of the challenge. You might say, okay, well, I can use this, but I really wish I had all the information. Guys, you can still join the challenge. We've been going for 21 days since February 7th, but you can start your 21 days anytime. All right. And we're going to leave that information up for at least, I'd say, another week or so. Actually, if we have challengers join and they start, I'll leave it up there for the 21 days that they're a member. So I'm not going to pull the rug out from under you. All right. So if you joined later and you still want to finish the challenge, I will leave the challenge information up for that 21 days so that you can have the entire 3 weeks. So that will probably end on February 28th. So you will not be able to join after that. Okay. But you will be able, if you join on February 28th and you want to still have 21 days to go through the information, that's okay. As long as you join within that window. I'm giving you a big window. So don't think that as I show you this, that time's up and you can't do this with a product and get something that creates income for you. The first sale, that's the goal. The first sale, okay? We're trying to get you to the first sale before February 28th or within 21 days. All right. So let's see if I can get my camera to work here. Let's go ahead and log in here so you don't have to worry about watching me log in. That would be pretty boring. I got to make sure I'm in the right account. And if you're, by the way, if you're watching, go ahead and let me know you're there so I can show where your comments will be. Okay. I'd love to kind of talk to you guys, make sure everything's working with you if you're watching either YouTube and or Facebook. So let's get this going here. There it is. I couldn't find my right account. All right. And let's see if share screen works. There we go. All right. Let's get out of the chat. All right. So thank you for letting me do all my stuff there. So here we are. All right. We are getting ready to go into ConvertKit. Oh, it just disappeared. Sorry. Let me try to get my login to work. Oh goodness. Okay, so now I'm in trouble because I've obviously forgotten, and this is embarrassing. Always. Okay, I'm gonna do this because I don't want you guys to watch me struggle to get my page open because clearly that was supposed to be happening right away and it didn't. This is what live is all about, huh? So let's see here. Oh, I remember I think I remember my website now. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm serious. All right, I may have to just talk about it because if I can't log in, I certainly can't show you guys the website. I apologize. This is one of those things I wish I had that you could just dig yourself into a hole. But hey, this is the internet. This is live. This is real. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there while I get you guys. So let me talk about it while I try to get my website to act right. Okay. So, number one, the first thing about ConvertKit is that you're able to go in to the first page. And when I get to show you, you'll be creating your account. All right. Now, creating your account is pretty simple. And what's really cool about that is that you can do this in the free part of the account. A you do not have to have a paid subscription on ConvertKit to actually do this. You can do a as many products as you want without having a paid service. So don't think that either one of these things, Gumroad and or ConvertKit, you don't have to have a a paid account. You don't have to pay anything. It's totally free. So that it should be really, really comforting for you because you might be thinking like, okay, this is going to cost me money to build a website. It's going to cost me money to have all this thing. The answer is no. You do not have to have any of that in order to do that. Okay. Number two, the great thing about having these products is that you can make a digital or physical product. And as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be a even ready. It doesn't have to be something that's ready already. You don't have to have the product. If you want to sell a physical product, you might say, okay, it takes a lot of infrastructure. Maybe you've set up websites before. Maybe you've built or Squarespace or Wix or something else where you've had to have a you've had to have all the pieces in place of your store. That's not necessary. Okay, you don't have to have that. All right, so you know what? I don't want you guys to wait any longer, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a look at this. I wanted to start from scratch with a whole new product and with a whole new account, but I can't do that. So I'm going to skip ahead and go ahead and let you guys into my account, which I just set up. So forgive me if I couldn't go you all the way from the beginning. I have an account that's strictly for webinars that didn't work. So we're going to take you in here because I don't want you sitting here watching me fumble and wish I could show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So what I did here, just to kind of give you guys an update, I tried to start from the beginning, but I couldn't. So I just jumped ahead, had to go ahead and log into this other account. So what you would do first, once you open your account, is you would log in, obviously, and then you would go up to this button where you see Earn. Okay. Earn is where you would go to set up your digital product. So that's where I skipped ahead to, just to get you into the actual site instead of waiting for me to like figure it out. So thank you for that patience. Now, once you get to that page, you hit products. Here's what shows up. Okay. So as you can see, we have product details, pricing method, and price. Pretty simple. So we're just going to call this my MVP. Okay. And again, this could be any kind of product that you have decided to sell. We're not worried about that yet. We'll explain what kind of product it is in the next page. So it just needs to have a name for it. This will be the name that will actually show up on maybe the title of the web page or the product page and the sales page. Okay. Number two, you get to choose your pricing method. Now, I know that immediately you might say, okay, well, obviously I'd go standard one-time fee, pay as you want. Is a very attractive method that I have not tried yet. But you can actually have people pay what you want and they can choose a price. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for your MVP, but perhaps it could work as research to kind of ask your people, okay, well, how much would you pay for this? And then you can say, hey, this is the minimum, but if you want to pay what you feel is worth, this could be a really great way of finding out what people really want to pay for this and see if they'll be more generous. And maybe you can maybe you haven't giving yourself enough credit. But that's just for the idea of paying what you want. Subscriptions, however, that's not really for MVP, but it's really cool that you can do subscriptions already on ConvertKit. As soon as you start, you can also have what could be a membership or a recurring subscription of some sort, like a newsletter where people pay once a month. So it's just exciting that, again, you were just on the first page, but I'm going to just keep it simple. We're going to make it a one-time fee. And by the way, notice you also have to put in your price right away. We're just going to go ahead and do $10. And I'll show you later like how that could fit into whatever pricing model, whatever you decided to do. So you're going to go ahead and click next. Next thing you're going to do here is then you decide or show what you're actually selling. So here's the part where you actually show what type of MVP product you created. Now, the one that I've been highly recommending from the get-go is a digital product, something where you can deliver it via email, deliver it as a download, because as you can probably tell, it's the easiest one to deliver. You don't have to do anything except make sure that that product is either designed, that it's printed up, that it's a PDF or so on, that it's on your computer. And there's actually an easy way, as you'll see in a second, to make sure that gets to the person and it's downloaded when they buy it. So that's the next thing that we have to talk about. Once they buy it, how do you deliver it? Well, deliverability when it comes to digital is super easy if you have a system like ConvertKit or something else where the file is downloaded or the page, it pops up and they're able to find it through email as soon as they buy on that page. And it's all self-contained. You don't have to go to a separate step to get them to a product page or something where they actually check out. So you could also sell, here's the other part, something else. And this is where it's coaching or services or perhaps even a physical product, okay? Key is, of course, now you do have to be aware that you need to collect stuff like shipping information and so on. Now, not for coaching, that could be like a video or something else. But if you're selling a product, you'd have to be a little bit more aware that a physical product would need to be a little more detailed in terms of shipping and things like that. But that is where you would hit that if you're going to sell something else. And then there's a newsletter, which is really cool. There's already a position here where if you want to sell a members only newsletter over time, this could also be subscription, of course, but you could also do a one-time sell, and they become part of either a network or a newsletter, and that becomes your MVP, and you can also sell that. So as you can see, great options from the get-go. You do not have to look for something very exciting. But so to make it easy, I'm going to call this something else, just because I don't need to worry about uploading a file. But actually, you know what? Depending on what you guys have, I may be able to do this. Let's do an upload a file. And let me just jump in and let me grab a document or something that might work as something that I want to do for, let's see here. Let's say I want to do some type of, let's see, I can do really any of these things. But I want to do one that I did. So yeah, let's just pick something random. But okay, so let's say it's going to be, a blog post or something like that, like this, like as a tutorial. So it's a Word document. Normally, it would probably, it's probably better to make it. And this is not mine, but I'm going to use it just because it's a PDF already. All right, so we're going to sell this PDF. I'm just going to go ahead and upload it so that it's there. There we go. Okay, this is actually another person's product, so forgive me. I don't want to act like I'm going to sell his product, but it was the quickest one that's there. All right, so you're going to sell this person access to your PDF. Now we have a digital download and we have that product file uploaded. And then we hit next. Okay, the custom domain is the next page. And this is where you can decide what to name your product on the end of your website. Now, as you can see, ConvertKit already sets up a URL for you. And it's a longer one, but it's okay because, if you have this set up, you don't have to worry about making another web page. Now, if you have another web page, you can create what's called a pretty link or a bit.ly link. I recommend pretty links, but you may not have access to pretty link right away. But there are plenty of URL shorteners where you can make your URL more interesting, more pretty, more easy to remember. But you can also just stick with this, okay? Because most of the time when you share your link, You're not trying to, you're not trying to impress somebody with the link. You're just saying, hey, here's where you go to buy it. So don't go super worried about the size or the sound of your custom domain. This is something you usually can set up in ConvertKit later if you want to go a little deeper. But we're going to leave the name there. I'm going to say create product. There we go. And here's the fun part. Okay, now I know a lot of you guys are thinking right away, like, okay, well, how does this actually work? Well, here's where you actually build out the sales page. So, as I've said many times in this challenge, you do not want to start too fancy. It may be tempting to put the beautiful website, but all you want, as you can see from this template, all you want is something where they can quickly see what it is, how much it is, how to get it, and purchase it. You want to make as little space in between the actual site because here's the thing, you've already validated, you've already done all the work. You don't need, at this point, you shouldn't need your sales page to convince those who validated that this is worth buying. You don't need a bunch of bells and whistles on this page to suddenly convince people that this is, going to work for them. Now, at this point, if you've done the challenge, you followed through all the steps, you can just say, here it is, and buy now. Okay, so I'm going to kind of quickly show you through some of the steps that we talked about in the challenge, the stuff that you need in order to make a good sales page. But the key about this, again, is it does not have to be fancy. Simply needs to get the job done. Doesn't need the beautiful label. Doesn't need to have a whole bunch of stuff. This is how ConvertKit really helps you to avoid all that and get right into getting the sale. All right. So real quick, you already, as you can see, have your price there and your title. That's two things that you need to have on your any sales page is the price and the title of the product. All that's left is the description of the product. And you can see there's a buy button and you're already going to have over here, you have a checkout page that's going to be already populated for you. You have a confirmation page that's already populated for you and a receipt email that will go to the customer. So as you can see, here is the entire checkout process laid out for you. You don't need to do anything else. Once you start to build this product, it will all happen automatically, which is so cool. Trust me, I wish you guys understood how hard it was before these things existed to get from idea to income to actually getting money. By the way, in this system, you of course would have to set up your bank account already, but that's super easy. I had to skip that page again because I couldn't get my login to work for my normal site, but that's where you would go first. It'd say create product, and then it would say set up payment. So you would go to that set up payment, and that way you could get the actual banking information in there. So let's go in and let's just start playing around with this a little bit. So to go ahead and change the description, just click on that area where the description is. As you can see, the little Latin can go away immediately. And now we have enter more content. Now I get to describe what my product is, and you can use in ConvertKit images, files, all that stuff here, but you really don't want that. Again, remember, this is supposed to be a simple page. So you can create lists here and so on and headings. You just don't need them as much. So let's just say this is a digital file. I uploaded a digital file, right? Just to make sure I could do a digital file. So, but we're going to say instead of what, I think that was a product for affiliates. Let me make this one. My MVP is going to be on teaching people. Let's just say it's this. Okay, I'm going to teach people how to make an MVP. That's going to be my product. Okay, so my product is going to be MVP. So I'm going to put at the very top. Whoops. Let's get on the right page. I mean the right thing. Here's the product that will help you build your own Apple product. Okay. Well, here's the lesson, right? That's kind of silly. Here's the product that'll help you build your product. Here's the training. All right. So that's the actual thing it's going to be. And then we could put in some benefits, okay, or some description there, and then we can do that in a list. and we'll put simple to use. We'll put 2 pages of exclusive information. And I'm just making this up, guys. Um, I'm just trying to think of things that maybe somebody would want in this lesson. Simple to use, 2 pages, exclusively clear and concise. Um, answers your questions quickly. All right, so there's some of the features of it, right? And the benefits, you might want to put a benefits list just to remind people what they were buying or why they're buying. You'll be, and here's where you'd put the benefits, okay? So up here is where I've put the features, and then down here is where I've put the benefits, okay? So let's see here real quick. All right, so when you get this training, you'll be, what will the person change? What will change with this person when they buy your product? What'll be better? So maybe you could say you'll be able to quickly build your own MVPs. You'll be confident when you want to sell. You'll have let's see what else. You'll be confident. You'll be able to quickly build your MVPs. You'll be confident. You'll be I want to say you'll be make income anytime you want. There's three benefits. Okay, let's say create income. All right, so there I've got 4 features of it. Okay, and I've got 4 benefits or 3 benefits. All right, now that's it. There's my description of the product. Okay, here's a training that will help you build your own minimum viable product. It's simple to use, 2 pages of exclusive information. I wouldn't say 2 pages, I just say exclusive information. Clear and concise. Sorry about that. Can't seem to spell today. There we go. All right. So now over here, you might say, all right, I really, really want a picture. And again, here's the cool thing about ConvertKit. You might say, yes, I really want a picture. And I would say, well, you don't really have to have a picture, but if you just have to make it a little prettier, you can upload a picture here, hit replace. And here's what's really cool. You can choose in ConvertKit pictures that already exist. So you might say, okay, I don't know what the product's going to look like something, but all I need right now is just a picture of something that kind of gives people the impression of what the product will look like. So I need something that looks like a piece of paper or a training, right? So I'm just going to put in training. I like that one right there. It's kind of clean. Okay. And if I want to change the image a little bit to fit, I can make it like that. There we go. See, so now I have a little slice there of a website and where someone's going to be working. And so there you go. That's my product page. Within, how long did that take? 15 minutes? I have a product page. Okay. Price, title, description with benefits, features and benefits. Okay. And a checkout button. And it's done. So now what would be next? Well, let's go ahead and save just to make sure none of that gets lost. Normally, I think it saves automatically, but let's not make any chances. So hit save over there. Then you're going to go to your next page, which is the checkout page. And look at that. Already populated order summary, my MVP, $10. Okay. This is where the person puts in their email. All of this is already populated for you. So you do not have to go anywhere else in order to create your checkout page. Now you can change some of this. I believe, actually, no, I'm sorry. It's not where you change anything. I'm not sure why it would change this. I wouldn't change this at all. Okay, I'm looking like to see if there's anything else you need to change, but I would skip the checkout page, go right to confirmation. Here is where you can change some things. Okay, so maybe you, in the thank you page, you do want to say something a little different. So maybe you want to say thank you. This is the website that pops up for ordering. Okay, so maybe you do want to be a little more personable. You want to change your headline there. That's fine. And then maybe here again, you want to be very specific about your file. Maybe you want to say your PDF or whatever it is. Or if it's going to be a video, it's going to be scheduled. I want to contact you to schedule this. This is just for a PDF. I wanted to show you pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, let's see, I don't have much time, but let's go back just in case some of you are not doing a digital product. I want to show you what would show up if it wasn't a digital product. So see if I'm able to change it or if it will let me change it. If I can go back to the beginning and change it to something else. Maybe not. Oh, I may not be able to do that. Oh, yes, I can. Let's see. Details. Can't change this. Yes, we can change this. All right, so let's change it. Let's get rid of this. Let's change it quickly, just real quick, to see what happens to something else. Okay, so nothing changed there. Go to checkout. Nothing changed there. Okay, so that didn't change either. But now here's the key. If you are going to sell something that is not a file, you do need to go over here and explain to people how they're going to get it. So let's say it's something else. You might want to say, email you. Let's say it's a training on video. You want to set up a coaching moment. So email a scheduling link to set up your session. Okay. Or maybe check your email. That'd be better. So this way, now maybe you could put the Zoom, if there's a Zoom information, you could put it in the checkout. But maybe you don't want that to happen because you want to make sure it doesn't get lost, or you don't want the person to click away from it. All right. Check your email for. Okay. So then you would go there. And finally, let's go ahead and save that. And then over here, as you can see, you also have a email that is going to show up. It's going to show them their payment. And it's going to be a letter here that you can change to explain how to get what they're getting. And there's the email. And here's where you can put the file itself or the link as well. So let's say you want a link there. Let's say it's going to be a Zoom link. Well, here's where you would put. Copy in the Zoom link, right? You can say Zoom link for whatever. And then over here, I could hit the little button, add a link. Maybe they click there and that's where they actually get into the training, right? Or they can get to a scheduling link. Whatever it is, you can deliver it in the receipt email and they've already paid for it. And then, oh, here's a download thing. So if you do have a file, that's where they could click for download. So I didn't even notice that. I forgot that was there as well. All right. So I've walked you through in 33, actually it looked like 23 minutes because I started 10 minutes late because of me trying to fight with the login. This is how ConvertKit allows you to go from a product to a product page. Literally 15 minutes, you could be collecting money from whatever the type of service it is that you made. Okay, so let me quickly go back out here. I hope I've helped you to really understand what's possible. What's possible with the ConvertKit system. That's a free account. If you go to godandgeeks.com/ConvertKit, which let me put that in right now to make sure you guys can see it. As I mentioned, no shame that we are a affiliate of ConvertKit, but as you can see, I mean, it's free system, free cost, and I can't see why you wouldn't use that as your way to create your MVP, okay? So that's where you want to go if you have not yet signed up for an account to set this up, okay? You can do so quickly, get your bank account information in there, and then go ahead and start building out your product. Now, Gumroad, as we mentioned, is also a great choice. Gumroad, GUM road.com. Okay, Great system. Also does the same thing. Lets you walk down from product, figure out what you're going to sell, set the price, creates a page, checkout page for you, creates the website. Now, once you're done with the system, all you need to do is go back here. Remember where you were. Let me go back to share screen real quick. So make sure you do need to actually share the link, right? So you'd want to go here to settings. Let's publish it first. Okay. And then you will see there's your link. That is the link you'd want to copy. Hit copy. That's what you would send to people and say, hey, here's where you go buy the thing. You can also embed that into another website where you can have a button that shows up. Okay. You can also change that button as well. All right. Now, that's the basics, but I wanted to get through it real quick. All right. I didn't want to spend a lot of time talking about how to do it. Now you have it. If you have any more questions, if you're in the challenge, if you have any more questions, let me know so that I can continue to help you to build these pages. And you say, okay, it's Wednesday. Can I get a sale by Friday? Can I beat this deadline? Not Friday. Monday. Can I beat this deadline? You could very easily have your first sale with no problem by Monday. I believe that wholeheartedly, because if you've done the validation product, if you've done all the processing, if you've done your validation and your evaluation, people are basically telling you they're waiting for this and they're just looking for you to go ahead and set it up. And starting ugly, starting simple like this is the easiest way to get to your first sale. Okay, so I've really laid it out as best I can. So if you have any more questions, if you're in the challenge, go ahead and jump in and ask me, and I'll go ahead and walk you through this system. If you already got a store, you basically got to do the same thing with your store. But as I said in the challenge materials, make sure that you don't make it too complicated and that you don't, your MVP needs to stand by itself. If it kind of sits in the middle of the rest of stuff that you're already selling, I would actually recommend you go ahead and just build this page, even if you have another store, because you don't want the MVP to look like just another option that everybody else is choosing from. It's really should stand on its own. So that way there's no, well, everything else is pretty and everything else has all these things and everything else has this checkout, but you just this one, kind of doesn't fit, or it is set up just like all the other ones. And so it doesn't really feel like it's the answer I was looking for, because now I have all these other choices. You don't want to confuse your consumers. So go ahead and make sure that your MVP is by itself. And I would say, even if you have a store already, go ahead and build this out and just use this for your MVP. And then if you want to say, hey, by the way, I've got other stuff already for sale, then send them to that other store. And that's fine. Okay. But the MVP really needs to stand by itself so that it doesn't get confused with other offers, and then become kind of like comparison shopping. What do I want, this or do I want this? And you now the people that were validated are now making a different choice. You don't want them to have a different choice. You want to keep it really simple for them. Okay. So I would suggest using Gumroad or ConvertKit, build the MVP, make an easy sales page, send them to that page. Don't make it complicated. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of our challenge. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see the pages you make. Once again, if you are not a part of the challenge, I have mentioned we will leave everything up for a little longer. If you still want to join, we'll still give you the 21 days. So as long as people have joined by 21 days before the 28th, we'll leave the system up so that you can go through all the trainings without feeling like you have to rush before the 28th. But you got to join before February 28th. In order to start the 21-day challenge, because after that we will end the enrollment. But I see some people are still getting excited about it. I want them to have all 3 weeks to do it. So if you want to be a part of this, if you're watching this and you were not a part of the challenge up till now, all you got to do is go to godandgeeks.com/new income. godandgeeks.com/new income. Okay, that's where you go, and you can be a part of this as well. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go ahead and head out. I hope you have a great day, great week. Hope you have a lot of sales from this process, getting into ConvertKit, getting into these systems, making a product, getting that idea finally out into the world, whether it be a coaching, a training, a website audit, a voiceover, a voiceover process where you say, hey, I'll do your voiceover for this much. And here's where you sign up and here's where you pay. And then you figure out all the rest later. Okay. It's so funny that, the money comes first, but it does. Make the offer. Don't let the perfection stop you. make the offer, and then we'll get to the details and we'll help you make sure you deliver on that offer. But you can make the first sale this week. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of the challenge. And once again, if you want to join the challenge, check out com/new income. You can still join up to the 28th. And we'll see all the challengers. We'll see you on Friday midday for our checkup to see how you're doing. And we might jump in as well on the training inside the website and the community. Okay. Thank you guys.